Hey there, wonderful metrics. Welcome to Educate. In our previous videos, we've already talked about the human ear as well as its parts, as well as the conditions that affect the human ear. And this particular video, we are doing the concept of balance. Stay tuned. So, if you didn't know, the ear has got two main functions, but probably you know only of one, which is hearing. Of course, you are hearing me because there's the ear, right? And all its parts that are responsible for transmitting sound from the outer environment all the way to your cerebrum so that you can be able to perceive it. But the other function of the ear, it is to maintain balance. But now, in this way, what is balance in actual fact? Basically, balance is the process in which receptors in the inner ear detect changes in the position of the head and respond to gravity, as well as changes in the speed and direction of the body. So basically, when you change your position of the head, or maybe when you change the speed and direction of your body, why do you not fall? Okay, for example, let's just say maybe if I trip over a log, or maybe let's just say maybe I'm in a train. Yes, I'm in a train and that train is actually moving so fast. Okay, why do I not fall in the train? Because actually something balances me out, as in like my muscles are actually balancing me out. And did you know that it is the ear that is actually balancing you out? So basically, without the ear, you are nothing. Let us look at these two scenarios. So we have got the change in the position of the head. You can see initially that this person is having his head upright. So it simply means that his head is standing upright. And in this scenario, the second scenario, you can see that he is bending his head. Why doesn't he fall? Because do you know that the head is actually heavier than most of the parts of your body? So the moment you are going to bow your head, why do you not fall? Because this person is not falling. For example, here's me, I'm bowing my head. Why am I not falling? Great wells. It is because something is maintaining balance. My muscles are balanced by the ear. So when there's a change in the position of the head, or maybe when there's a change in speed and direction of the body, then your muscles actually balance out. But that command is sent by the ear. Right. So if you look at the second scenario, you are having this brother of mine here. He is standing in the first scenario, and then in the next scenario, you can see that he is now dancing. You can see that he is now changing, like his body is changing its speed and direction. Of course, when you are dancing, you don't just dance in the same direction. You have to change direction. You have to change speeds, and you have to do all of those things, right? So basically, when there's a change in the position of the head, and when there's a change in speed and direction, the reason that will make you to balance and not fall, it is the ear. So we just need to know, how does the ear achieve balance? How does your ear make your muscles to be balanced so that whenever you change the position of the head, you do not fall? Or maybe whenever you start dancing, or maybe when you change the speed and direction, or maybe when you ride a car, why don't you fall? Let's look at the process. So basically, looking first at the changes in speed and direction. Basically, when there's a change in the body's speed and direction, meaning that maybe you were standing straight here, and then eventually you are now changing your speed and direction of the body, you are now dancing, you do not fall to the sides. You do not fall to the sides, okay? Because you are balanced. So what actually balances you? There is endolymph. So we have got this fluid that is known as endolymph. So the endolymph, it is actually found here at the semicircular canal. So if you don't understand this endolymph thing for grade 12, it's fine. Even if you don't mention it, you can try to get the other points so that you can get the marks, okay? But if you really want to understand, there is this fluid that is known as endolymph, okay? So the endolymph moves because when you are changing the speed and direction of your body, you are actually shaking your head, or you are shaking the parts of your inner ear. So the endolymph is just a fluid that is found here within the semicircular canal. All right, and the moment that fluid starts moving, it acts as a stimulus. Okay, it actually stimulates something to tell your brain and say this person is moving. So there is a fluid that is known as endolymph that is found in the semicircular canal of the middle ear. The semicircular canal is just this part here. This is known as the semicircular canal. So in the semicircular canal, there is fluid. There is fluid. It is filled with fluid. The name of the fluid that is found in the semicircular canal is known as the endolymph. So the moment you change the speed and the direction of your body, that endolymph will start shaking. Because literally, guys, if you take this, right, if you see that it is standing right straight, but the moment I start moving, you can see that the fluid it is shaking within it. Same applies to your what? Same applies to your endolymph. So when just treat this as your body. The moment you start moving, the endolymph will start moving, the fluid within the semicircular canal will start moving, because those semicircular canals, they've got angles of 90 degrees. So it will start moving into one of them. And the moment that it moves, the cristae, so there is a cristae, which is a receptor that is found in the semicircular canal as well. So particularly the cristae, it is found in the, I think it's found in the utriculus or something, but yeah, it's either found in the ampullae or it is found in the circulus and utriculus, something like that. But I chose not to write that point, just not to confuse you. For your level, I think you just need to know this. But if you want to pursue medicine or biology later on, you definitely need to dig it and do your research, right? So basically, there is this receptor that is known as cristae. So cristae, it is found in the semicircular canal as well. So the movement of the endolymph actually stimulates the cristae. So the cristae, which is the receptor, it can hear that you are shaking and the fluid is moving. So the cristae is detecting the movement of the endolymph, and it will treat that as a stimulus. So the cristae will generate impulses, and those impulses will be sent to the cerebellum. Hey, please be careful here. The cristae is a receptor. What is the function of the receptor? The receptor just takes stimulus, which is some condition that is happening, and it converts it into an impulse, which is a message that will be sent to the brain. The brain understands impulses, okay? The brain understands impulses. Everything that is communicated to the brain or to the central nervous system, it moves via neurons, but in form of impulses. So there must be a receptor that will take the condition that is happening outside and convert it into a what? Into an impulse. And that impulse is to move through some nerve and go to the brain, so that the brain can act or the brain can react, because the brain controls everything in your body. So in this particular case, the movement of the endolymph, it causes the cristae to be stimulated. So the moment when the fluid is shaking as you are dancing or as you are changing your speed and direction, when the fluid is shaking, the cristae will detect that movement of the fluid and it will be stimulated. Then it will convert that stimulus into a what? Into an impulse, a nerve impulse. So these nerve impulses that are generated by the cristae, they are sent to the cerebellum, not to the cerebrum, right? The cerebrum, it interprets. Let's just say, for example, when you want to hear the sound coming from my mouth, it is the cerebrum that interprets the impulses, all right? But when you want, when your brain wants to balance you, we have already talked about the brain, and we've said that the part that is responsible for controlling your muscles and balancing your muscles, it is the cerebellum. The cerebellum, it coordinates voluntary actions. It is responsible for the muscle tones. So basically, what balances you as a human being, it is your muscles. So in this particular case, this cristae generates impulses, which are thus messages to tell the cerebellum to say this person is shaking and is changing speed and direction. Tell the muscles to be balanced. This happens very quick. It's like electricity, not like it's actually literally electricity here, because it happens very quick. So the moment you start changing your speed and direction, you will not fall, because as these impulses are sent to the cerebellum, they are sent via the auditory nerve. What does the cerebellum do? The cerebellum will now send those impulses to the muscles to restore the balance. So it means you won't be able to fall even if you change the speed and direction of your body. So here, basically, the process in summary just says here, we have got here the semicircular canals. When there is a change in the body speed and direction, or maybe when you start changing, nyagazing, and you are grooving and you are doing all of those jumping and whatnot, you will not fall. Because when there is change in the speed and direction, the endolymph, which is the fluid in the semicircular canal, will start moving. And when the fluid is starting to move, the crystal will detect it. And when we say that the crystal will be stimulated, simply means that the crystal will respond to the movement of the fluid. And now it will generate impulses because the brain understands impulses, right? So those impulses will be sent to the cerebellum part of the brain, and they will be sent via the auditory nerve, the same auditory nerve that transmits the impulses from the cochlea. Right, so this same auditory nerve, it doesn't change. So the impulses are sent via the auditory nerve straight to the cerebellum. Then the cerebellum will be able to send messages again, which are impulses, to the skeletal muscles or to the muscles, so that you can balance your body, because the muscles are the ones balancing you essentially. Okay, so that's the case when we've got a change in the speed and the direction. Now, what if there is a change in the position of the head? So I've already told you that when you just bow your head, you don't fall, because I am supposed to bow my head and fall with my body. If I'm just an object, I'll just bow my head and fall with my and fall with the body, the rest of the body, because the head is heavy as well. All right. So here, when there's a change in the position of the head, how is balance maintained? First of all, when the position of the head changes, gravity stimulates the maculae to generate impulses. So in this case, when there's a change in the position of the head, the receptor here, it is the maculae. So the maculae, it is our receptor, because it is the one that will detect. It will detect that this person's head is changing its position. So the maculae, it is our receptor. And what is the function of the receptor? It is to take the stimulus and convert it into a nerve impulse, which is the message that must be heard by the brain.
Hey Lapo, I know that you've been enjoying this wonderful video, and most likely you've been enjoying watching this handsome face in front of you, but sorry ladies, I'm taken. I just here to tell you that Educate is on the road to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. So please click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you get notifications whenever I post new videos. I want you guys to pass. Okay, so if you make my dream true, I reach 100k subscribers, I will make your dreams come true. I will even get you to varsity. I will get you with 7 distinctions. Yes.
That must be perceived by the brain. So here we are having maculae. I think it is found in the utriculus, something like that, but it is found here in this semicircular canal around this region, right? So the moment you bow your head, the gravity, the force of gravity, it stimulates the maculae to generate impulses. So basically the maculae will start generating a message to tell the cerebellum that this person's head is changing its position. And the moment that happens, those impulses or those messages are sent to the cerebellum, the same cerebellum, because cerebellum is used to maintain balance, is responsible for maintaining balance. Cerebellum is responsible for controlling the muscles. Remember that the muscles are the ones that cause you to balance, because the muscles are the ones building up your body. You cannot be anything without muscles, okay? So basically, the cerebellum has to receive messages, which are impulses in life sciences terms. Has to receive messages saying what? The person's head is changing its position. Grade 12. Right? So when this happens, basically these impulses are sent via the auditory nerve, the same auditory nerve. Right? So these impulses are sent to the cerebellum via the auditory nerve, the same auditory nerve, this one. They go to the cerebellum, then the cerebellum will do the same thing. The cerebellum will just send more messages to the muscles and tell the muscles to balance this person. Okay, so instead of falling, your head will just tilt alone without your whole body falling. Why isn't your body falling? Because the muscles are maintaining the balance. Who told the muscles to maintain the balance? It is the cerebellum. Who told the cerebellum that there is a change in the position of the head? It is the message that is coming from the maculae. What told the maculae that there's a change in the position of the head? It is gravity, because when you bow your head like this, gravity will just act on your head, then the macula will be stimulated. So this is all about it. This is all about it. Please at least get usually we go about 5 marks on this one, so at least have 5 points that you know. Do not cram the points, understand them, so that when they give you a different scenario, you'll be able to apply it. And thank you so much for watching Wonderful Matrics. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.